Good morning, Fiber fans. Happy Monday. Thank you for joining us live for 20 questions with 20 years. We are here live with Allison O'Neill, Chief Experience Officer at Aloe, and we are with Hanna, Marketing Director at Aloe. Allison has been with us for 18 years, Tanna 14 years, so you can see why these gals are kicking us off for our first ever 20 questions for 20 years. It's 2023. Aloe got our kickstart in 2003, so we're here to celebrate our 20th Aloe-versary. We're super excited to do a little walk down memory lane. These gals are going to answer some really awesome questions today about Aloe's last 20 years and just some fun imperial facts and relationship facts that they've built over the last few years. We're going to wait a few moments for some folks to hop on and join us. If you are here, don't hesitate to hop into the comments, tell us hello. We can see your comments live. So if anybody has any questions for Allison or Tanna that you would like them to answer live on this video, don't hesitate to drop them in the comments and we'll get you answered on this live stream. So we're going to go ahead and kick it off. How long have you, or I've already answered this. Question 1, how long have you guys been at Aloe? I already gave away the answer, 18 and 14. So I'm stealing question 1. Tell us about your favorite Aloe memory.
So I think for me, it was when we decided to overbuild Lincoln, Nebraska. And we went to a building in Lincoln. We had a press release and an announcement, and there were TV cameras there. And Brad Moline has talked in front of a lot of people, but he was really nervous. And I remember thinking at that point, it was like, oh man, we've kind of made it. I mean, that was a big deal.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
That's not my favorite memory, but it was a really fun thing to be a part of. I was standing there and watching people post our announcement on Twitter and being in charge of our social media and advertising at that point. I was like, oh my gosh, we are not on Twitter right now, and my purse is in a room that I can't get to. And so everyone else is going to know about this before Aloe sends it out. And so it was a big learning moment, but a good one. My favorite memories, I had a hard time actually picking one, and I got to 2, so I'm going to tell you about both. So the first one was Nick was celebrating his 15th work anniversary. We call them Aloe-versaries, and it was my 10th. And in Imperial, there was this huge group of us that went out, and we went to dinner. And I remember being at the restaurant thinking, it is so loud in here, and just looking around the room. And there were all these groups of people talking, and our spouses were there, and it was so much fun. And you could just tell how much we all really enjoyed being around each other outside of work. And I thought that was a really awesome moment. And then the second was Brad and I and our director of product were invited to the White House. And when we got that invitation, it was like, oh, holy moment. There is an invitation to me from the White House with my name on it, asking me to come to the Rose Garden. And that was a pretty sweet moment.
A moment that you knew you made it.
Yes.
Aloe made it.
And as we walked out, I was like, Brad, look at us at the White House.
And we were all watching to see them. We were like, oh my gosh, they're there.
Yes. Yeah.
We have a couple shout outs. Hey to Molly. Molly's on live. And then we have a couple Calix friends, Alan and Chris. Thank you guys for hopping on and joining us. We'll dive into question number 3. This is probably the most important question on this whole sheet. How many pots of coffee does the Imperial office go through in a day?
Okay, 2 in the morning, usually 1 in the afternoon. Allison is somehow full of non-caffeine energy. She's like a corporate unicorn.
I just don't like hot drinks.
It doesn't make any sense, but I drink plenty to make up for her lack.
You guys, we have
coffee.
So many coffee mugs in Imperial. We have 1,300 employees at Aloe. We have enough coffee mugs in Imperial for all of them. Just so you know, you open the doors and they come spilling out. Plenty of opportunities for coffee.
That was an open invite for all Aloe employees to come spend an afternoon.
Yes, we have a cup.
And for our Calix people watching, I bet a third of them have the Calix logo on there.
Yeah, probably very valid. Mm-hmm. Yeah. Was that a plug that we would like some more updated coffee mugs?
No.
Also important question, without peeking, how many people would you say are watching you live right now?
Oh, watching us live right now?
Yeah, on this video. How many
12.
People? 12?
100.
1,200 for sure. Yes. Don't start blushing. Don't get nervous. Okay, we'll dive back into some legit Aloe questions. If you guys could do any other role at Aloe, what would it be?
I love the technical part of the business. So for me, it would be technical troubleshooting. And I like hearing the customer's response of like, oh man, you fixed that for me.
Yeah.
So, and I've done that before, but that's what I don't do as much of now is understanding the technical side of it. And then being able to just hear that relief from a customer, like, oh, hey, great, it's working. Then they don't need you any longer. So we have a lot of different roles that do that, but I don't know one in particular.
Mm-hmm.
I'm going with CEO. First of all, Brad just makes it look like so much fun. But honestly, Allison and I put a lot of emphasis on watching women develop in their career, and it's fun to see women get into these leadership positions. So I'm going for the top spot.
Jocelyn is live with us, and she's a little offended that neither of you guys said HR director.
I was HR for a very short period of
That's
time
right.
and was not good at it. So it's all yours, Jocelyn.
Yep. We love you, Jocelyn.
What is Aloe known for in the communities that we're a part of? When you guys were new to Aloe, we were in very few communities, and now here we are, 34 plus communities later. What are we known for as we continue to spread our brand around?
I think we're known for just being real people. So from initiatives like this to how many hours we spend in new markets and our older favorite markets. There's just a lot of people. We do a really good job of hiring local and hiring people that already are a part of their community. And if they're not already a big part of their community, then we provide ways for them to get involved. And so people just see us out and about all of the time.
Yeah. And I think just the thing that I probably hear the most is just, oh yeah, they were so nice. That just the friendliness of people that we have in the communities. I also think one thing we hear a lot in the newer markets is you guys have a lot of vehicles. Because when we come in and we're doing construction, there's a lot of activity in a market. So probably something else we're known for.
What was it? John just gave us an update in the meeting on Friday. It was like 800 Aloe vehicles, which is crazy.
Yes.
But it's a lot of teammates spreading the fiber love around our communities for sure. What is one word that you would use to describe the last 20 years at Aloe?
Grit, for sure. Being a startup company, really small. 14 years ago, there were 20 people here, and now, like we've mentioned, it's closer to 1,400. Just takes a lot of grit. You have to figure out how to do pretty much every job when you're that small. Just dive in, figure it out, work with your coworkers and customers, and just show a lot of grit because there's not a single hour that's the same day after day after day.
I love that word.
I do too. I can't think of a better one. My second word would probably be progress. Just when you think of the last 20 years and where we've come, it wasn't, some of it was gradual, some of it wasn't.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'd say progress.
Okay, so let's say we were to leave this live stream right now. We would walk into both of your living rooms and we turn the TV on. What channel is coming on TV?
March Madness.
Yeah, for sure at my house too.
Yeah.
Perfect timing then for that question for sure. Who do you guys have winning the whole?
Alabama.
You guys weren't prepared for this one. Who's winning?
Okay, so I did one and I had Arizona. My son had to tell me. I said, "Were there any upsets today on the first day?" And he goes, "Oh, Arizona lost." And I said, "Well,
First round.
I'm done."
Is Alabama still in?
Yep.
Okay.
You were just trying to support our newest fiber state, though.
It was. They did not support me in my quest to win.
I actually have a trophy on my desk for being the March Madness winner.
At Aloe?
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, thank you.
So something else about our TV though that I do is I don't know what channel it would normally be on, but I wait for a show to be partway through it so I can do the restart TV so I can forward
little plug on Aloe TV.
It is. It is, but it's my favorite thing. And March Madness, we can't do that. I mean, you can do that, but then you have to watch the game behind, and you're already going to know what it is. So.
Well, best of luck to you guys in your March Madness brackets.
That.
I hope you get the trophy again.
Thank you.
What is the funniest memory that you have of Brad?
You sent us these questions on Friday, and actually Brad was fairly cranky on Friday, but at nobody in particular. And when he is like that, if he's actually mad at someone, then I don't find it funny. But if he's just like traveled too much and he's just kind of lacking some energy and he's just a little bit cranky, it is the funniest thing to me. I cannot stop giggling. I think I giggled all day Friday. Every interaction I'd be like, oh man, it's too much.
Funniest thing that I remember is we were in Gehring, Nebraska, and we were at the Still Grill, and we were eating as an Aloe group, and I don't remember
We're celebrating our 10-year
Okay.
anniversary.
Oh,
there.
okay. And, one of the customers came up and, what are you guys doing? And then somebody said something about Brad, and he said, Big Dog Brad. And that stuck with us as a,
Yep.
a name, a different
Hey,
name for
when
Brad.
he's cranky, we should call him Big Dog
Dog
Brad
Brad?
and see if it gets him out of his bad mood.
Have the lack of hair jokes always been around, like Brad's whole entire Aloe career, or is
He
that?
lost his hair pretty young, so
Yeah, some
he
hair
usually
gallery.
makes fun of himself
Mhm.
more than we make fun of him.
Yeah, it allows us to make fun of him
Mhm.
because he starts it.
He also has been in the trucking industry his whole career, and so he does a lot of trucking references. And somewhere along the way, people started to pretend honk when he would start talking about trucking. So that's been fun.
Mm-hmm.
Quick shout out to Scotts Bluff. We have some more fiber fans hopping on and jumping on the live with us, so that's awesome. This is a question that came in, and I'm interested to see if either of you guys can answer it. Someone wants to know, when we were back on the TV channel, what's your favorite Husker sports podcast? Do either of you guys listen to sporting podcasts? Not so much.
I do not.
Husker sporting podcasts, no, but I do love the Huskers, and I just got assigned to basketball today.
She did. That's true. We should have brought it
Shout
in
out
here.
to Sam Griesel.
We should have brought it in here. Missed opportunity. Okay, this is also a pretty important question, and I'm interested to see if anybody on the live has an opinion too, but is cauliflower crust considered real pizza?
No.
Yes.
Hopefully there's no upcoming food days in the Imperial
And
office.
sweetened cream in Imperial makes a pretty solid cauliflower crust pizza.
We'll have to try it.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Leslie's going to throw us back a smidge. She wants to know what you're most proud of at Aloe.
For me, it's the fact that we sat in 2005 and said we were going to do a fiber overbuild of a community. And at the time, Tanna talks about grit. It wasn't about let's do something that other companies aren't doing. It was just we as employees said we will do whatever we need to do to make this company successful. And so I think there's pride in knowing that it didn't have a lot to do with the understanding, the expertise that came in, but it had a lot to do with the people that we were and the people that we employ. And that's still, to me, what I'm the most proud of, meeting new people. And it's just like really good people that we work with.
Yep.
Yeah, I would add to that, especially post-COVID, there's a lot of conversation about company culture. Yeah. And that's something that Aloe has actually been really good at through all 20 years. And all of that is because of Brad and his constant focus on how we treat each other and how we treat our customers and the communities that we are here to serve. And so I think as we continue to get bigger and bigger, there's a little bit of fear that we won't be able to hold on to that culture, but we've seen such huge growth spikes and we've been able to hold on to it that the fear gets less and less as we continue to get bigger. But I love being able to say I've worked there for 14 years, and when we say we care about our customers, it's so genuine and real.
Those are great answers. Really filling everybody's fiber hearts this morning. Okay, what's the wildest thing you guys have been asked to do at work?
This question took me a while because I think I'm pretty skeptical of. Tanna's very quick to jump into anything new and fun. So if somebody asked her to do something wild, she'd be like, okay. And I'm more like, well, let me think about that a bit. But the one that I did think of is we were doing a survey, and I think it was for just understanding community need for broadband or internet service. And we took a phone book, which I don't even know if they make phone books anymore, but we do, but I don't know if you use them. And we called every single customer in our surrounding areas to ask them about their need, would document it. And now it's just so funny to think of that we were asked to do cold calling to an entire community.
Yes. Yeah, I would like to see people's responses if we asked them to do that now. Mine was literally everything in the first 5 years. I remember just so many times going to Brad and saying, I don't know how to do what you're asking me to do. And he'd just be like, go to your desk, figure it out. It's like, okay.
Good luck.
Deal. And I think that helped us, back to the culture and just everybody diving in. You went back to your desk and you may not have known how to do it, but you always had a group of people around you to be like, okay, that's going to be hard for you, but I'm going to pitch in and be a part of this process and help you out. And then just for Brad as a leader to always have just such high expectations for what our abilities are. Like, we learned so much about ourselves in the last decade plus, and having a leader say, like, there's really nothing out of your scope of ability, just go and dive in and figure it out.
Yeah. We have some curveball questions here, and I'm really interested to see if you guys can answer these.
Okay.
As a reminder to our fiber fans, we are talking to our Chief Experience Officer and our Marketing Director. But what excavation methods do we use? And it's okay to say, I honestly don't know if you don't have a great answer. We can direct this off.
I don't know.
Yeah, stay tuned. We are doing more of these, and we'll have some
Todd?
resources who are going to get you the answer to that.
We do know that we disrupt communities when we first are coming into a community and when we're building two businesses. And what method we use, what we're doing typically in our role is making sure people are aware of the process, and they're making sure that, if we have any issues that we're fixing them. So that is a good curveball question. 2 curveball questions.
Yeah,
we have not really had good answers.
There's one more.
Okay.
You guys will be able to answer this one though.
Okay.
You guys both already said that our company culture is doing well and thriving, and that's one of your guys' favorite things about Aloe. Is there anything that you would change?
Yes, time. I would definitely change our ability to get in front of people more often. With 34 markets, it's really hard to find the balance there sometimes of like your day-to-day tasks, being home enough, to make your family life manageable, and also getting out to be in front of people often enough that you are able to build really good relationships with people in other communities. That would be.
That's a good one.
Yeah, I think so too. So from a customer perspective, being able to go to any of the events that we have in the local markets, but I would say the same thing from an employee perspective. We don't get to meet nearly as many people as what we would want to. It's harder too when you have 1,300 people to remember. So that's probably, I would change a better memory.
Yeah.
Al Schroeder chimed in. He's going to save the day on your last question. He said
job.
directional boring for most underground
We should have
placement.
known that.
So there we go. Okay, very
Thanks, Al.
important question. What is your favorite cocktail?
Margarita, hands down.
Martini. Let's just get right at it.
Both quality options. Yep. How many customers do you think the Aloe representatives have talked to on the phone as of 11 o'clock today?
500.
Yeah.
500?
Yeah.
Okay, we're going to test you after. We're going to look it up and see how accurate you guys are. That's a good guess.
I think that's a really good guess.
That's a lot of people that we've
That's a lot of
helped
people.
just in the last few hours.
Yeah, and that would be just phone calls.
Yeah.
We're getting texts, we're getting chats,
That's
we're
awesome.
getting emails, Facebook posts.
Seeing some love. Robert and Greeley said, we love our Aloe and Greeley. Your people are everywhere here. So finger snaps to the Greeley crew. Great job, guys. What is one task that your husband struggles with?
Oh boy. Hey, Matt. Time management for sure. We often joke that Matt has like real deadlines in his business, and how I don't have the luxury of saying like I have a deadline every week for the sales numbers or every quarter. And so time management for him, it's just a much more natural skill for women too, sorry, but it is, right?
Yeah, for sure. With my husband, Willie, it's folding laundry. He will do the laundry, but then it just sits there, and it's like, let's get that last step done
Once
this
it's
year.
folded, will he put it away?
No.
But it'll be
Not really,
folded.
but it's folded.
Taking up
I don't.
less
I
space.
actually, I don't care about the away as much as it's folded. Isn't that sad?
See, and I just tell Matt I don't want to ruin any of his clothes, so he needs to wash them
Right.
himself.
Yep.
Yeah.
It's a good motto.
We all have options.
Here's a good one to get everybody's heartstrings. What's your favorite thing about the person next to you?
This is actually, we just had a meetings, and one of the team building was to say something nice to the person next to you, and Allison was next to me, so I actually just got to go through this. But Allison and I have both been working here for so long together, but she was just my original counterpart. She's super patient. She's ridiculously smart, but very humble about it. And she's also, people have always come first. And so we have very different personalities.
Mm-hmm.
And so we've actually always worked together really well. Like she'll calm me down and I'll try and push her.
Yes.
And so I think that's helped us both become stronger leaders because we've been able to work together so closely.
Oh yeah. Tanna and I hold each other accountable. and it is definitely like, I think we have the same goal in mind, end goal, but we have different ways of getting there. And so Tanna is a driver, and she holds you accountable, but she also is like, you can do this. Like she's you can do this, and she gives you all the confidence that you need. And she is a really fast thinker. So I like that, but sometimes I'm like, give me just a little bit. Let me think through that. You're here, I'm here. I will get there. It's going to take me.
Yeah, but she'll ask so many good questions along the way that even though I've made a decision and we should just follow that decision, she'll usually get us exactly on track where we need to be.
Yeah, we go through withdrawal if we're not around each other at work.
Well, it's a good thing your guys' desks are like 5 feet apart. So you guys can still be each
and
other's
our houses
ladies.
are 4 houses apart.
Good old Imperial, Nebraska.
Good old Imperial.
This is a question for you, Tanna. How many people are on your marketing team?
Ooh, that's a good one. So we have, I think we're up to 9 or 10 core marketing reps. Our full department is about 70 now, which is our retail stores, inside sales, the digital experience team, marketing, events and public relations, and door-to-door sales, inside sales.
A lot of people.
Did I miss anybody? Any groups? I think I got them all.
I think you got them all.
Internal communications. Yeah.
Awesome. On the same marketing conversation, which Aloe brand color is your favorite?
Green.
I love the Aloe black, and I know Aloe employees watching this will probably roll their eyes, but I don't mind that we don't change. I like the black.
Yeah. We were all black for a long time.
Mm-hmm.
And it was really nice when you'd walk into a place, you could just be like, find someone in a black Aloe shirt, they can answer your questions.
Yeah. Yep.
But while we're moving into some much warmer places in Arizona, we could not have just the black.
Yeah. Well, for clothing, like as far as our logo and colors in general, I like the green too. I mean, I just think it really stands out. I like it in our offices where we have, we usually have some sort of accent wall in that color. Yeah. Yeah.
Awesome. What's one word to describe the people on your team at Aloe?
They're true professionals, all of them. Everyone has, there's a lot of different jobs that get done throughout the day. And I mean, just back to our, we keep talking about the culture, but to be a professional, you have to really just be able to dive into the work and figure a lot of things out. And so for our team, we're kind of always just learning as we go and treating each other professionally and acting like professionals.
Yeah, I think, from a customer support perspective, I would say fearless, just because you never know what's coming, and I know you know that from digital support too. You never know what's coming in that door to understand it. And then I had a second word, which is sarcastic, because I think within my team, we just have a real undercurrent of sarcasm. If you can't speak sarcasm, it's really hard.
Do not apply.
I don't know for all teams, but yeah.
I love that. That's very cool. Mike Boris is going to throw us back to the last question. He wants to know, how about some blue?
Oh,
that
Mike Boris. Mike created the United Way t-shirt because he wanted it to be blue. And so we do have a blue brand color, not usually our shirts, but we do have a United Way blue t-shirt just for Mike.
I love that. Inclusiveness.
Mike actually photoshops himself into blue shirts a lot and sends them to me with the Aloe logo. And he's like, don't I look great in this shirt? Wouldn't this be a great shirt to have? So keep trying, Mike.
Poor Tanna has really seen a lot of shirts that were not marketing approved, but that we have tried to push through. And she's like, that's not the move. Not that one. This is a big one. I'm expecting a lot from both of you guys here.
Okay.
If your Aloe office could be anywhere, where would it be?
I just went on vacation with some of my favorite Aloe people a couple weeks ago, and we rented a house in Cabo, and that is where our home base would be out of. see the sea everywhere,
I would for sure.
sunlight.
Caribbean, anywhere in the Caribbean, but for sure by a beach.
So
Yeah,
what do we
has
got
to
to
be
do
by a
to
beach.
get Aloe to Cabo or to the Caribbean? Is that going to work
That's a
out for
really
us?
good
Yeah.
point.
We're going to have to definitely start expanding out of the Midwest. We're not too far from the beach in Arizona. I think from Yuma, we're a couple of hours from the ocean.
Yeah.
So we're getting closer.
Yeah, Lake Havasu City is also, known for some water and views.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
It is very pretty there.
What is one thing that you would tell someone that is thinking about a career at Aloe?
I answer this quite a bit, actually. We are growing so fast that the people that have been here the longest obviously have such potential for leadership positions. But even if you haven't started with us yet and you're thinking about it, we're about to enter into the next 12 months of just really growing quickly again. And so I would say if you're at all interested, apply, do it soon, get your foot in the door and figure out where we can best utilize your skills to help us hit those goals over the next couple of years.
Yeah, I think the interest has to start with the people that work here. I mean, once you meet some of the people that work here, I think you'll just like the culture of the organization, but then the possibilities for what you can do within we have and the needs that you need to serve customers in our communities is so vast that if someone just comes in and takes a chance on the culture, they're going to love it, and then they're going to find their spot within the organization.
Yeah.
I mean,
I actually love Allison's written answer to this is, do you like being happy?
That's a good one. It's a
sarcasm.
good one. Alan Carr has a question for us from LinkedIn. He said, congrats on 20 years to the Aloe team. The customer over the next 20 years might look much different. How are you going to adjust and attract these customers?
Ooh, Alan. Alan is actually our Calix rep. So Calix does a really good job of being forward thinking to help us also be forward thinking. Brad, our CEO, talks a lot about not being a dumb pipe, which means not just pushing internet into a house or community building or business, but actually having really good products on top of that internet so that we are a huge part of people's everyday lives. We used to say we offer really good customer service, but the goal was to not have customers call us because our internet was so reliable and steady. But that is obviously changing and has been changing over the last few years we want to be a reason people talk about their internet. We actually want them to talk to us. We want them to reach out about new products, engage with us, and be really excited to talk about their internet provider. We've been really successful in building those brand ambassadors in every community we go to. We have people that if someone asks on Facebook, who's your internet provider and do you like them? It's amazing how many Aloe customers will jump in. Or even previous customers, if they've moved out of an Aloe community, will jump in and say, I used to have their internet and I love them and you should be their customer. So the customer will definitely change, but I think we, with our vendors like Calix, are doing a really good job of staying in front of them.
I think, open communication is really key. Open communication with our vendors, what are they seeing? But it's also, what does the community need? Conversations constantly with communities and what do their residents inside and businesses need? Open communication with our customers. We take so much feedback from customers. We send surveys out often, but we're also going to local events. I mean, that's part of being local is, what need aren't we serving? I think if you can keep the communication open, you're naturally going to continue to focus on the customer versus what are we doing internally? Most of our decisions made are thinking through what the customer needs and not what we need internally. If we can keep that focus, we'll continue to adapt and change customer needs.
I think continuing to build departments like yours too, the digital experience team, so customers can figure out what works the best for them to communicate with us. If it's a Google review, a LinkedIn post, email, chat, people still want to call in, people still want to come into our retail stores. We just need to be really good on all of those platforms. So regardless of the customer, they can communicate with us in the easiest way possible for them.
Yep. Speaking of communication from customers, Robert also in Greeley said, I've literally never had an internet issue since joining. So,
Oh, awesome.
that's awesome.
Thanks, Robert.
Good job, Robert. That's great.
All right, question 20, which you guys have done great at answering additional questions. So you're well over 20 questions at this point. But this is our final question for today. What are you most excited for in our next 20 years?
Definitely being able to continue to impact people's lives. When you look back at the number of people that, 14 years ago, that Allison and I would sit in these conference rooms together and hire people. And those people have now gone on to other communities and they've started new markets for us and they've built their own teams and they've had these really great careers. I think being able to look at the lives we as a company impact internally is pretty awesome. But then also externally, we really do care about the communities that we serve, and we can see the impact of having good broadband to those communities and what that community is able to do to thrive and stay ahead of the curve. And so as we add more communities, it's just fun to see. It's so exciting to be like, this is our new community and what are they going to do now that they have this great connection.
I think Tana and I both like to travel, and so far markets where we've been offering service have been in either Nebraska or Colorado, where we spent a lot of our time. But being able to have service in Arizona, and what other places are we going to go to where we'll really start to meet that community and be able to spend some time there? So I think it's customer side of things and community side of things, but then also the employees and changes, and then. The other thing I said, 20 years, I'll be really close to retirement. And we've had some good retirement parties for people lately. And so,
So you're looking forward to that too.
That's good. In 20 years, I think through 20 years, what am I going to look forward to at the end of that 20 years? I'll probably be looking forward to retirement.
Yes. Well, thank you guys so much. And thank you guys for our viewers for hopping on and joining us today. Allison and Tanna, you guys are very influential Aloe leaders, and we appreciate you taking the time to chat about the last 20 years and what you're looking forward to and what we can maybe expect in the next 20 years. For anybody that's tuned in today, this isn't our last 20 questions for 20 years live. We're actually going to be doing, this is a tongue twister, 20 questions for 20 years on the 20th of every month for the rest of the year. 2023 is our whole Aloeversary, and we're celebrating all year long. So tune in for all of our next videos on the 20th of every month and chat with some other Aloe leaders, hear about their journeys and what they're looking forward to, and maybe we'll learn about how much coffee is being consumed in other Aloe communities as well. So thank you guys for joining. Have a great day.
Thanks, Allison.